Hey everyone, it's Kira and this is Polymer Clay TV, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own really cool colors of clay that have glitters and powders included in them. It's called inclusion clay. And then I'm going to show you how to make this awesome veneer that even includes a mica shift. Let's get started. So in this veneer, I'm going to do some layering and some inclusions, and I'm going to create my own clay color. So I'm starting with Primo White Translucent, and the accent color I'm going to use is Primo Accents in Copper. So I have these, and then I've got Alcohol Ink in Citrus and Pool. And I've got the Tropical Breeze set of Color Fuse from Create Along. These are powders. So I'm going to be creating 3 colors of clay with inclusions. This one's really cool. It's got a lot of glitter, so I'm the bling person. This is perfect for me. This one has a couple different colors of sort of beautiful bluish and white. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these colors come together. So first thing I'm going to do is take 1 square. This is how I measure. Basically, I'm going to use 1/2 ounce or 1 section of each of my Primo, and I'm going to condition this and make my colors. So for 2 of these, I'm going to add alcohol ink to them, and for the third one, which is going to be like the beachy sand with glitter, I'm not going to add any color because the translucent clay already has the color in it that I would want, like a neutral color. So here's how I like to add to my translucent clay to make new colors. The Adirondack alcohol inks work really well to just add some color to the clay without blocking out being able to see what's in it. Because if you're doing a clay that has inclusions in it like this, you want to be able to see inside the clay. So if you were to mix, say, an opaque clay in there to make colors, then you're going to end up blocking being able to see deep into the clay. So that's why I'm using alcohol inks. Now I'm just going to let these dry on there, maybe kind of smush them because the ink takes a little bit to evaporate, but if you do this, it'll evaporate faster. So I'm just going to kind of smush it and open it back up. And let those sit to dry. I always keep some kind of wipe around for messes. Okay, and then on this one, I'll show you how to get the inclusions into the clay. So this is the neutral beach sand kind of color, and I'm just going to use a little spoon to scoop some out. And then basically you can rub this around on the surface of the clay till it all sticks. And then run this through your pasta machine a couple of times until it's all incorporated inside the clay, and then do it again. So right now it's in there and I'm starting to see some of the glitter shining through, but I know that the clay can hold a lot more of the powder, so I'm going to add more until I feel like it's kind of saturated and I'm seeing as much of that color inside the clay as I want to see. And the clay, I don't want to put so much powder in here that the clay starts to not hold itself together or be crumbly. So you don't want to like dry out the clay. And here I'm just picking up what's around the outer edge of the container because it was a little bit, I don't know, spilly when I opened it. But I'm just going to incorporate all those little edge spills back into the clay. And I'm just going to roll this through my pasta machine again until it's all incorporated. So here's where I'm going to stop. I've got a lot of glitter and powder inside the clay, and I can see through the clay and into the inclusions. And since the glitter is in the clay, it's not going to be making glitter bombs everywhere when you make your creation, which is always a thumbs up. So I'm just going to do the same thing to the other two. So I'm going to put the green powder in here and the blue powder in here. Here are the 5 pieces of clay I'm going to be working with. So I've got my green color that I created, and that's full of the powder and the glitter. I've got my beachy neutral kind of sand color that also has a little bit of glitter in it. I'm happy that these both have a golden glitter. This actually has a green gold glitter in it, and this one has gold. And if you love the Primo Accents glitter clays like rose gold and the white gold and the gold glitters, this is how you can make your own colors of glitter clay. So this is the blue, and it has beautiful sort of unexpected colors deep inside there because the powder actually has other colors other than blue in it. And then I've got my copper, which I've made a very thin sheet. This is a number 5 on my pasta machine, and it's conditioned and ready to go. And then I have a base sheet. Since I am making a veneer, I've got just a piece of pearl clay that I've conditioned and rolled out to a number 3. So it can support what's going to happen with the rest of these clays. So for this, what I'm planning on doing, oops, I'm getting stuck, is I'm planning on making a stack. So I have a nice firm blade, and I'm going to make a sort of mini cane stack. And I'll just make rectangles that are roughly the same size. They're all the same height right now. I rolled all these to a number 3 on my pasta machine. So you can see that I had a little bit differences in the size of the clay that I started out with. So I'm gonna actually roll everything again so that I can get rectangles that are roughly that size. I'll be right back. All right, so they're not exactly the same, but that's gonna be okay. So what I'm looking to do here is stack these up. And I'll just cut off this excess of blue because that's going to just annoy me. It's not going to ruin it, but it'll annoy me. So I have a little bit of extra from the edges of all 3 colors. That's going to be great later when I want to make something. So those are accents. So I have this, I have my copper, and I want to put a layer of this also between here. So I've got the 3 colors, and I've got my sheet of copper. And then I'm going to cut and stack. And when you look at what this looks like on the inside, you have to decide if you want to stack it back this way or if you want to stack it this way. And I'm actually feeling like I would like to stack it with that green in the middle and then another layer of copper between everything. So I'm going to do this so that the colors bounce back and forth. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So I've got green to green with the copper in between, like this. I'm going to cut off the edge because I basically have enough with this little mini cane to go to stack it twice more. So now I can stop here because I'm going to be laying strips of this onto here. Or I can stack it higher. Now it just depends on how good you are at cutting straight lines or if you have a cane slicer. So I think I'm going to stop here just because I want to be able to easily cut pieces of this and lay them on here. And because of the way I did this, now my design is going to bounce back and forth, having that copper line between the green and then again between the blue. You can stack yours and cut them however you like. It doesn't really matter. This is just how I thought it might look really cool, going back and forth between the two colors like that. Instead of just repeating over and over the colors, now it's kind of going blue to sand to green to sand to blue and back and forth that way. I think it's gonna look nice. So this process is just creating the first part of how this is all going to come together. That was thick. A lot of people ask, you know, do I need a cane slicer? Will it benefit me? And I would say if you like this technique, if you give this a try and you like it, you may like having a cane slicer because it makes this process easy. It makes everything the same thickness. Makes it easy to cut these slices off of your cane. But if you don't do this all the time, then a cane slicer isn't really necessary. So now I've got these on my base sheet and I'm going to stop there because I'm going to be stretching this. So I'm going to cut off the rest of this piece of pearl and save it for later. And this right here, now I need to stretch. So the first thing I can do is use my rod on my surface and just press these down so that they're making good contact with the pearl clay underneath. And then take it to my pasta machine and I'm going to roll it in that same direction. I'm going to roll it this way, bottom first into the pasta machine so that it presses down into the pearl clay. Check this out. I'm actually done. I'm done making my veneer. And what happens here is the copper clay, when you line it up like this and put it in the middle, you get a little bit of mica shift. So if you look carefully, you can see mica shift happening in these rows where the two pieces of copper came together between the blue. In between the greens, it's not pronounced because it was just one piece, one little piece of copper between the green. But the two sheets of copper on the outside where they come together between the blue, they give this little sort of flash of mica, depending on the angle that you look at it. And it's all smooth now. Basically, I ran it through my pasta machine 3 times in this direction, this side down. This is so cool. I can't wait to make something out of this. If you're into the polymer clay trading coins, you can make one of those. It definitely came out wide enough to do 2.5 inches. And if you have a little bit of leftover here, you've got your 3 colors that you can use for accents. If you wanted to do something beachy or make a pair of earrings or a necklace or something, there's a lot of clay here to do all kinds of fun things. So I hope that you enjoyed that little mini caning and inclusions tutorial and that you will come to Polymer Clay Tribe and show us what you make. I am loving this because there's a little smattering of glitter and particles and all kinds of fun things happening in here. And it's going to look really cool when I make it into something. Have fun and we'll see you next time on Polymer Clay TV.